Hey y'all, it's your girl D. Gem, and jewels are expensive. So I just wanted to get back on because the message that I did post was a little bit crazy, like the way it looked. And it had relevant information, but I don't like the way it looked. So I just wanted to recap on the message that I had already said. So, you know, I was talking about the old versus the new and how we have to make good decisions in our fight, in our battle, in our healing journey to learn ourselves. Our healing journey is going to give us the absolute most wholeness. So, like I was saying, today I had some old self values and patterns and cycles that were coming up for me. And I was just like, but it's not hurting nobody. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to do nothing, right? But then I thought about it and I was like, dang, my new self was like, but you're compromising this journey that you're on. You're compromising all the work that you put in because what I was talking to with a friend earlier today is that when you make the decision to go back and do the old pattern, then it's like a misstep. It's like a relapse. It's like I messed up because that old decision is never going to be satisfying. And that's what I really realized today. I said to myself, well, I can go back to the old decision. I can go back. I could go and, do the things that I used to do and just go back to my old self. But when I finish doing the old self decision, like, how is that going to affect me? Am I going to feel some type of way? And that's really where I really came to the crossroads where I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to like stick with the new Dara. I'm going to stick with the new self and keep on my path because I can go back and make decisions based off of, my old self. But what, like, it's not going to be as gratifying. And that's really what I was saying in the message that I put out, don't give up or give in. Don't give in or don't give up. It's not going to be gratifying to go ahead and say, I'm okay with the old patterns, the old cycles, and then indulge in that and find out that it's really not satisfying. It's just not going to satisfy the appetite for what you have. And I think that if we just wait a little bit and have a little bit of self-control, which is very hard, then the universe will send the things that are going to say, this is what I know you want. And it's going to feel like fulfillment. So I made a decision not to decide on the old self. I made a decision to continue with the new self, the new patterns, the new cycle. And I still am not happy. Or it's not even that I'm not happy. It's just like I'm still not satisfied because there's still cravings in my life to be better, to have more success, to do X, Y, and Z. And I could go back, but it's really not going to be fulfilling. It's not going to be like what I think it's supposed to be. And the old self will call back to you and say, oh, well, you could just go back and do, what you were doing before. You were happy there. At least what you're getting into. My new journey, I don't know what I'm getting into. I do the work And every day I get little crumbs and little things of satisfaction. Maybe it's not yet to the fruition that I want it to be, but now I'm learning how to be grateful for those little things, those little crumbs that I'm getting, and appreciate my life. I could go back and be what I think I was at my prime, or, really my old life was not serving me. And that's why I'm on this path. My old life didn't serve me. I was very upset. I was very in anguish. I was in frustration. I was in a lot of different patterns that didn't serve what would move me forward. And I feel so much better doing what I am doing right now in the new, and cutting off situations that are not going to serve me, that are stressing me out, that are not giving me the peace that I want. Because at the end of the day, and this is what I thought, I could go back to the old self, which I was not at peace. I was not fulfilled. It didn't serve my purpose and my life, and I felt stuck. Or I can go to the new, which is a little bit of mystery, a little bit of work, a little bit of quiet isolation, a little bit of peace, which I need. But it's also those things that were in my old self, because I'm still trying to figure it out. But it's not to the magnitude of what my old self was. So when I say it's a little bit of my old self, it's still the passion that I have for my old self. You think that changed? My old self knows the capacity of which I want to operate in. But there are old patterns and decisions that I've made that have to stop in order for me to take my old self into the new. So my new self still has those patterns, still has those things that I'm like, ugh, I want to work out, because they were there from the beginning. But I wasn't operating in a way that would ensure that my end result, the new self, would be able to accomplish those things. So I say this to you guys because, like I said, I'm still on my journey and I'm still learning and trying to figure it out myself. But when you have that old self coming up, you have to remember all the work you did to create the new. And also, you want to build patterns that are wholesome. You want to be a whole person. For me, I have relationships that did not work out for me. So therefore, I cannot continue to act in my old self. Certain things have to die to create new. When something dies, you see a squirrel that died in the road. There are so many things that are help breaking down the decomposition of that squirrel. But there are also things that are giving life when that squirrel is being decomposed. And then new life begins. So I have to let this stuff die. I'm thinking about right now the scripture. I don't know what verse it is, but I know Paul said to take up your cross. And when we think about the symbolization of the cross, we think about Jesus dying on the cross. But what are the things that we have to do in order to die to self so that we can get to the next level? Because this is really, really honestly, The healing work is a self-dying, because we have to die to some of the things that were put in our lives that we didn't have any control over, our childhood, even from the beginning, and years of generational past. And then we have to catch a hold of the things that we know that we can change within ourselves. And that requires dying. You have to put death to some of the things and patterns and cycles. So some of the things and patterns and cycles today was like, oh, there. And that was my old self. You should. Yeah, you know what? You work hard. You know what? You should just indulge just a little bit. You ain't hurting nobody. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt. And then my new self was like, why would you compromise? Because if you go back, then you misstep, and then you have to get back to where you are. Oh my God. So if I misstep and I go back, who knows how long I'll be back there, and I could be up in the forward, up making steps towards the progress. And that's what I was saying to you guys earlier. I made a shorter video. I didn't like the video. I saw the video. I looked at it. And I was like, damn, they could just barely see my eyeballs. So I wanted to just say and go back. We can't stop our process. We cannot indulge in what is going to hinder us from being better. And yeah, it might feel like a quick fix. It might feel like a quick fix, because I definitely was like, I could just have a quick fix and then everything will be all right and nobody's getting hurt. It's just me. But then I had to think about all the consequences that come with the decision. Am I making a quick fix and then it's going to result in life decisions that I didn't want to be the result? So let me not quick fix stuff. Let me endure this pain. It's not pain of the fact that I'm dying, literally, where I'm hurt, literally. It is on the inside. And guess what? Tomorrow's a new day and I get to start over again. I get to be the new person, continuing to be that new person. Because I didn't involve my flesh. I didn't say, well, I just want it right now. I didn't seek out that instant gratification that I could have. But tomorrow, I can feel better about myself because I can say, all right, well, I had a moment. And guess what? I'm still here on this journey. Still here. Doing what I gotta do. Still here. Let me just make this day a little bit better and stop thinking about the misstep. You know, I sometimes complain about the things that I have to do, but they're actually fulfilling everything that I need to get done. And sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it today. But I had to start thinking, dang, how many people would love to be in my position? Would love to be in a situation where they say, I don't feel like it today. Yet they have all the opportunities that I have. Because some of us don't have the opportunity. So therefore, what I'm saying to you is that you need to cherish every single thing that you can. What I was saying was that I'm so blessed to have the nerve to complain about something. I have the nerve to complain about something when a lot of times, and a lot of people are not afforded the blessings that I have. So I have to retract. You know, the reason why the old self came back was because I didn't feel like I was blessed, or I felt like I'm struggling, or I'm not where I need to be. And I have to be patient in knowing that I'm going to get there. I'm just doing this. It's just a moment in time. And once I see that I'm really blessed and that, you know, people can't do the things that I have exclusively in my journey, because we have exclusive journeys. Your journey is not going to be my journey, and my journey is not yours. And we have to respect that. But at the same sense, when I start complaining about the parts of my journey that I feel like I wanted to stop, that's when I need to be more grateful. That's when I need to say, okay, the old self is creeping back in, and the new self is doing what? Trying to stop the old self. That's why I had issues today. Because I want to be on a different level. And right now, I have to continue to wait for the universe, for God to provide the exit strategy. He knows what I want. I pray to him. He knows. I talk to him. He knows. But I have to endure the process. And then there's another verse besides the one I just told you from Paul about taking up your cross. But there's another verse that he says as to being content. Content whether I have, content whether I don't. And sometimes contentment is very difficult because you want to, you just want it to happen. But time, which I say that loosely because time, you have to maneuver through time and understand how to use time. Time's not even a real thing, but while you're in this season, for me, while I'm in this season of isolation, while I'm in this season of quiet, that's my time. Because when it begins to change and when that time comes that I'm activated, I'm not going to have time. So now I get to just enjoy the time. But I'm not enjoying it because I'm trying to fast forward past this time where I'm really in a good place. So I want to say to you guys, this is my last thought. Take the time to do the work. Continue to do the work. Also, don't let your journey be counterfeited by old patterns. For me, it's like I'm a busybody, so I gotta do something. My little one keeps messing up my video, so I'm gonna have to chop and screw this. But what I was saying is, don't get so concerned with time. Don't get so concerned with the journey that it makes you be disgraceful. It makes you make counterfeit moves that are going to mess up the process. Don't make moves that are going to mess your process up, but also really intuitively and understand yourself. And when you get to that point, you can stop yourself. Like I got to the point where I understood, okay, why am I venturing back? Why am I in old self? Why am I making decisions for old self? Why? And before I started this journey, I wouldn't have caught these things. I wouldn't have caught it. But, you know, my thing is, okay, what do I need to critique a little bit? What do I need to check a little bit? How can I make this work? Because I'm not going back. Because that's unfulfilling. It might be satisfying for a minute, but it's still not going to fulfill this passion, desire, and purpose. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Be vigilant. Be content. Hard work. Content. Be content. Understand your journey and what triggers these old self models that you want to cancel. And when they pop up, visualize and see them, but still make the new self decision. So I wanted to redo this. Like I said, this is your girl D Jam. Jewels are very expensive. And I'm going to talk to y'all soon.